Hi everyone, I'm thrilled to be back on YouTube. My name is Ksenia, and on this channel I'm trying to share these practical step-by-step solutions, tips and tricks about organizing your life, glow-ups and just feeling better. On top of that, using astrology to make this advice more tailored and customized. In this video, I would like to share some practical advice on what we could learn from such zodiac sign as Leo. What tips and traits are usually associated with Leo zodiac sign that make it so flamboyant and really glowing and outstanding. Let's call it glow up like a Leo. Later on we're gonna make videos about each one of those signs, but because now it's August and Sun is in Leo, I think it's a perfect time to start with this one. If it's not your zodiac sign, don't worry. Maybe your ascendant is over there, or moon, or some other planets. Either way, each zodiac sign has a cool trait to share. My favorite things about Leo is their loyalty and the fact that they're very artistic, though sometimes a bit too dramatic. We're gonna talk about that as well, but very bright and playful people to be around. So what makes Leos flamboyant and what can you utilize in your day-to-day routine or habits? The first thing that might make you really stand out and look really well is posture. And this zodiac sign is often associated with kings and royalty, and I think I'm going to use quite a bit of idioms and metaphors about that in this video, but a posture is something that definitely gives you instant confidence and just adds something to your look. Well, to none of us this perfect posture comes out just naturally. Most likely because of our lifestyle and day-to-day activities, our posture tends to get worse rather than better over the years. But posture is something we can work on day-to-day activities to make it look and feel better. So, number one advice to utilize this greatness of Leos is do your posture exercises. It really adds up to your confidence and brings you into the spotlight. Because even before a person starts talking, you can see their posture, you can see how they act, how they place their body in the room. So posture is a significant thing to work on. It's not going to be a video where I'm just showering Leo as the perfect zodiac sign with compliments, though I am a Leo, so it would be a very Leo thing to do, but also reflect on the weaknesses, and maybe you have them too. So even though great posture brings you into the spotlight, one thing and flaw that Leos often have is putting themselves into the spotlight, but not reflecting. Is it something I want to do? Is it something how I want to show up in the world? Or am I just seeking approval of other people? So that's a nice exercise. Try to sit down and write down what activities are you doing and why, what brings you joy, what creative hobbies you have, and which ones of them are something that you sincerely enjoy, and are there any things that you do just to get approval from your peers, from your parents, from your boyfriend, from your significant other? Because when you do something with passion, when you do something with joy, it brings way better results than when it's just something you do to impress others. And that leads us to number 3. Another great way to glow up and try this summer is trying a new creative hobby. Maybe not so new one, but definitely the one that you enjoy and like. Leo is all about creativity and stage, so it could be drama classes, it could be an amateur theater, it could be pottery or dancing, or I don't know, wine and drawing, or just drawing without wine. Something really creative, something that you like and enjoy, something that you could see yourself just doing on a Sunday, something you'd contribute to your spare time and feel energized, not something that you do to impress the wrong people. And number 4 is taking a look at your inner circle. Now, not all of us do that, but that's definitely a very Leo thing to do, is when you're basically great and you assign tires to your peers and friends. You have your inner circle, very close friends, you have like just good, very good friends, you have your acquaintances, and then you just have people you interact with, but you're not really friends or anything. Now, even though ultimately Aquarius is the best friend, Leos are definitely very loyal friends. What I enjoy about this zodiac sign is they're not tolerating any betrayal. Once you betray their trust, there is no way back. You're falling out of the inner circle and even friendly circle, you're losing all your benefits and access and this just heart-to-heart conversations and good relationships that you have. Now, I promise to use some royal idioms. They might be cheesy, but nevertheless, here's one. A queen is only as strong as her court is. Reflect on your current close relationship and people. Are there some people that you feel drained after a conversation with them? Is there someone who makes you feel jealous or uncomfortable? Or each time after you meet up with them, you just feel exhausted and don't want to do anything else and just literally can't do anything else? And what are the people you feel energetic and yourself with around? And your loyalty and your friendship is something very valuable, not something you just give away. So it's important that you share it with the right people, not just anyone that shows up. In my native language, there's also another idiom that says punctuality is the courtesy of the kings, another royal one. And one of the great habits that you can borrow from Leo's zodiac sign is being on time. Of course, things happen, but I think one of the most respectful and great things to do is being able to manage your time properly and really noticing when other people are not returning the favor and are constantly late and wasting your time, because those time wasters, you might want to review your inner struggle if you want them in your life. Leos also have this great generosity, this unstoppable energy that they share with people around them. Even though they tend to talk about themselves more than about other people, something just draws to them. But rather than describing this trait as a be generous, I would say put yourself first and take time to restore your energy. Because you really need to have some resources in order to be able to share your energy and abundance with other people. Otherwise, there's no water you can pour from an empty glass. So if there is going to be just one advice that you're going to take on today, it's this one. Take your time to restore your energy and take care of yourself first. In my case, even though making YouTube videos is something I really like and enjoy, I had to take this prolonged break because of my second pregnancy. First trimesters can be really tough, and I really needed this time to take care of myself, just sit down, lay down mostly, and just let my body come through all those challenges before I'm pushing myself to write a script, sit next to the camera, take an extra work project, go somewhere. Even though it really slowed down some progress that I might have had, on the other side, it allowed me to use these resources on something important, to take care of myself and really put myself first for this time. And as we started talking about slowing down, can you imagine something who's really a Leo from the big L coming into the room and just rushing everywhere, being nervous, just running around with gestures like throwing their hands and screaming, and unless it's a part of a theater play or something. No, that's not really a Leo thing. That's not really healthy. That's just a way to make yourself more neurotic and nervous and just too excited, but excited in an anxious way. So another great advice and trait to steal from Leos is slow routine. Allow yourself to slow down. There's a million of tiny practical advice to make it work. My favorite one is to write your thoughts and activities down. Think, what are the activities that make you feel anxious and too nervous and makes you rush? And do they really matter? I mean, each one of us has a different routine sometimes because you have to rush to work in the morning, or you have to take care of a child, or because you have just some important things that you really want to contribute to. You're rushing and you're not letting yourself enjoy the moment. And yes, the final result is important, but the process is also important. It is longer. I would say the process is even more important because of that, because it is longer. I really don't like this advice when they say wake up 1 hour earlier and just spend time with yourself, because I would really prefer spending time sleeping. In case you need to wake up earlier, I'd say you have to set alarm for when to go to bed, so you know that you're gonna wake up on time and you're gonna have enough sleep. But for the slow routine, if you don't have those, 1 hour, 30, 15 minutes to just slow down, drink a cup of tea or coffee and reflect, think about how you can make your day-to-day activities more mindful. For example, if you are walking somewhere and you have your headphones on and you're listening to music or a podcast, take your time, turn your headphones off, full amount, and instead of throwing new ideas into your head, try to listen to your thoughts. That might be pretty uncomfortable at first, because the voices in your head might be very loud. Well, that sounds a bit mental, but it really helps you to slow down those thoughts in your head so that you're not so electricized and anxious and nervous all the time. Another one is digital detox. For that, you can really check your screen time in your phone app and think, okay, do I really need those 4 hours a day on Instagram? Or maybe I could cut that down. Because even though scrolling seems like you're resting, actually your brain is doing a lot of work, which then contributes you to rush in other areas of your life. Whichever tiny habit you're gonna choose, please let me know in the comments. And what are your little secrets of just slowing down and letting yourself time? It could be anything. I'd appreciate your thoughts. Now, we've talked about the positive traits of Leos, but each zodiac sign has also that other side. And for Leos, it's definitely their stubbornness. Listen to criticism is important. Don't just be that stubborn person that just like, no, I do what I want and I don't take any feedback. Now, I think it really deserves a separate video. If I ever make one about that, I'm gonna attach it somewhere here or in the comments. But the general advice would be listen to feedback, listen to criticism, and use your critical thinking to define whether it is something you can use and you can use for growth or not. Another one, if you're not as stubborn as Leo or Aries, for example, then your way would be to learn to use your critical thinking to cut off this extra criticism and not live into something that you're not and trying to fix something that you don't really have to fix. There's my favorite story. Imagine someone just telling you, wow, your hair is really green. And several people throughout the day tell you that, but you know that your hair is not green. In fact, you can even see if it's green or not, and you realize that no, it is not green. You don't understand why those people are telling you that. By the end of the day, you won't be persuaded that your hair is green because you know that it's not. That some things we just know about us and we don't let other people define them. If somebody tells you, like, wow, what a green hair you have, and you don't believe this person, and then they say, oh, you're so ugly or fat or stupid or a lot of other things, and you know that you're not that, you're not going to listen to that. This bit was for people who are more sensitive to those external feedbacks and people's opinions. Just think that it's their opinion and it's up to you whether to take it or not. And another thing for Leo season is dressing accordingly. Here, I'm not telling you just to cover yourself with gold, though this is a very Leo thing to do. But it's hard to imagine a Leo in like dirty sweatpants or just dirty and untidy things in general. You don't have to wear luxurious things. But if you follow your personal hygiene, if you're neat, if your clothes are ironed, or I prefer steaming them instead of ironing, that really makes a difference. Actually, as you travel, you can really notice how one parts of the world, they really look cleaner and better, and it doesn't mean that people over there, they live a better life or they have more money. It's just the way they carry themselves. For example, there are cities like New York and London when you come and everybody's just have their own crazy world. And then once I traveled to Japan, and it was a whole other experience. And I can't say that, even though I'd say there were some very incredibly stylish couples and couple looks that I've ever seen, they looked incredible. I can't say that every Japanese person is a style icon. No, but every person I saw, from tech companies executives to cleaners, they were all very neat. They would care about their uniform or the clothes they're wearing, and even though if you could see like a couple of stitches here and there, and those clothes were not new, but they were in neat and pristine condition, it really made a difference. It made the whole city and the whole area look clean and beautiful. So you don't need a lot of expensive and cool things. Just take care of what you have. And one more Leo styling advice, I think it works both for friends and things, is quality over quantity. With Amazon and fast shopping, it's really easy to buy a ton of things that are really cheap, but you don't really need, and you can only wear them for one season. But as a person who moves a lot, I know that it's always better to have one really high quality thing that I can just carry with me through the years, through 5 different countries, and I know that it won't rip in the most important moments when I need to wear it. So choosing quality or quantity is something I don't regret. Even though it means to put aside some amount of the money I would spend this month for this, fast shopping and like those impulsive purchases, but then getting something really valuable, something really durable, something I will enjoy and will bring through the years. And then somehow I thought about dresses and those things that, you can really wear only once. Why spend a fortune on them? For this case, rentals are a great solution. Well, not every city has them, but rentals or borrowing an outfit from a friend with their consent, that's also good advice. And this time, like until the end of August 22nd, 23rd, until the sun is in Leo, I would like to wish everyone to have this opportunity to be childish, to play a little bit, to laugh and to giggle, because being creative, feeling this creativity and excitement is very pleasant, and sometimes it's just a perfect season astrologically to do so. And one more thing, as Leo is a zodiac sign represented by Sun, so if you were born on Sunday, and who would have guessed, but Sun is the planet responsible for Sunday, I would highly recommend you to be childish, to use your creative hobbies, to laugh, specifically on Sundays, because this is the day of this planet and it's nice to favor it that day. And even though Leos, they prefer to receive praise over than giving it, I'd say spend some time really giving praise and appreciating yourself and people in your life. But remember, for Leos, praise is only enjoyable when it's well-deserved. So don't just try to thank people for something they're not, or they haven't done, or just, over-exaggerating. Try to really look into their activities, or what they've been doing, or how they help you, or what you like about them, and give praise about that. Because this is one of the things how to make an enemy with a Leo. It's either don't give them any attention, so they're gonna just get all grumpy and leave, or giving them false praise. Praise on something they know they didn't do a really good job, so it more feels like a mockery than a sincere feedback, a great feedback or a praise. And one last thing I'd like to recommend is a book, mind my accent over here, by Somerset Maugham called Theatre. It's really a book about an actress and about how she lives her life, and it really helps to see and understand a life of a woman, a life of an actress, and really feel this Leo season. There are some great quotes from this book. I really love it. In fact, I think I'm going to reread it. Probably my favorite one from that book is that the tragedy of life is that sometimes we get what we want. Okay, don't let me throw any more cheesy quotes at you, but